debate that this morning. Now, what to make of these numbers? Chip Saltzman, former campaign manager for Mike Huckabee, and Erica Payne's the former deputy finance director for the DNC. Good morning to both of you. Ladies first, Erica.
Good morning, Bill.
What do you think about that? 48 to 44 Tea Party over President Obama.
Listen, this is a pivotal moment for President Obama. Keep in mind, the Tea Party started with anger against the bailouts, the big bank bailouts. And what's happening now in Washington is the Senate is debating how to deal with Wall Street and how to rein in those excesses that brought our economy to a standstill. And President Obama has been very firm that he is going to put out a lot of energy trying to pass strong regulations to keep the banks in check and keep them from doing this harm again. The question is, can the Tea Party...
He can get that done, and then you have to ask whether or not Congress and the laws that were changed in the late 1990s will be changed also.
Well, I mean, what the Tea Party should do is turn their attention to this issue over the next 6 weeks.
Okay, that's interesting. What about that, Chip?
Well, you know, bailouts, handouts, and then taking over a sixth of the economy with socialized medicine is not the way to get the attention of Tea Party folks. They're worried about big spending. They're worried about massive trillions of dollars worth of debt. They're worried about just keep printing money until you spend your way out of the problem. You know, the whole stimulus package is predicated on government spending is the right way to go. That's exactly the opposite way of what Tea Party folks, good fiscal conservatives, Republicans believe in. And I think that's why you're seeing Obama continue to fall off the radar screen. And the Tea Partiers believe that 48% of them anyway would be a better choice than President Obama based solely on his spending. And I think that's what's driving these poll numbers, and I think that's what's driving down President Obama.
That's the point about the spending, and that comes down to money. You know, Scott Rasmussen tells us what he has found over the last year is that these folks, they don't care about Democrats or Republicans or independents. They care about money and federal spending. Next poll that we got here from Rasmussen, who do you trust more? That was the question. 50% say they trust the average Tea Party member more. Check that. Is that okay? Hang on. We'll see it on the screen in a moment here. 50% say the average Tea Party member. 38% say President Obama. That's actually about Congress, guys. We'll get to another one in a moment here. Right. My point to you, Erica, is that this is all about dollars.
It's all about dollars, and it's all
Chip's
about
making
trust.
that point, too.
And it's exactly what you said. It's about dollars and trust. And so the question is, which party are you going to trust to spend your dollars better? The Republican Party just spent $2,000 of workers' money on a bondage-themed
President
nightclub.
Obama spent trillions of dollars on socialized medicine,
So you're asking that
Erica.
same group of people to be in charge of how they're going to spend taxpayer dollars. I think that's a ludicrous proposition. A bondage-themed strip club.
Wow.
I mean, come
Bill,
on.
I got to tell you,
There's been
Eric
a guy
is really
who resigned to the chief
right
of staff
here.
of the RNC. I want to get back to this whole issue there, Erica. And Chip, and that is this. I had it on the screen. Who are your views closer to? The Tea Party members or members of Congress? It's 47 to 26. I mean, these folks don't like what's happening in Washington, Chip.
It is all about spending. It's all about huge government programs. It's all about trillions of dollars of debt. It's like I said, Obamacare, handouts, bailouts. We can't afford this as a country anymore. The more we continue to do this, we're not now mortgaging our children, our grandchildren. Now we're moving to our grandchildren's children to pay off this debt. And people are sick of it. And the Tea Party is a movement that's bound by energy and passion on fiscal responsibility. And I think what we're going to see is Republicans, and that's what we've been talking to, is they're going to be supporting Republican candidates in November because they know that's the way to get to fiscal responsibility.
There's a big group of independents out there. Eric, I'll give you the last crack at this, then we got to run. There's a big group of independents out there that are reflected in these numbers, too. If you were a Democrat, how would you co-opt those voters based on what's happened over the past 14 months?
I don't think you need to co-opt them. You just need to tell them the facts. When Bush was in office, he spent $1 trillion on a war we couldn't afford. He spent close to $1 trillion on a tax cut for the wealthiest Americans that we couldn't afford. And President Obama has come in, and incidentally, the regulators under President Bush are the regulators who let Wall Street get so out of control that they brought down the economy, which most economists estimate has cost us another $1 trillion.
President Bush? I mean, at some point, President Obama's got to take responsibility for this economy and what he's doing as president. You can't blame everything on President Bush.
Chip, I'll give you the last word.
He was in office for 8 years during the
I've
biggest
gotta run.
collapse of the economy since the Great Depression. So, I mean, I do think he's responsible for it.
Like I said, at some point, President Obama's got to be responsible for his own actions. He just tried to socialize a sixth of the U.S. economy, which is going to hurt this economy.
Watch the Tea Party, folks. We'll see which way they go in 7 months. Chip, thank you. Erica, thanks to you as well.
Thanks a lot.
We'll do it again.
Bill.